Right, hello there. Welcome to this fly tying tutorial. My name is Daniel. I'm going to show you how to tie a mayfly, generic mayfly, using mostly CdC. To begin with, we need to make sure that we have the right tools. We have the vise, this one, the jaws to fit the hook. We have our scissors. Get good scissors. These are not so good, but get good. We have our bobbin holder, this one that holds the bobbin or the spool of thread. And I'm also going to use this. It's called a whip finisher. You use it to tie knots. Basically, you can use your hands instead, but makes it, when you learn to use it, it makes it just a little bit easier, a little bit faster, I think. Many people don't use it. All right. Materials then, you will need a hook. I'm going to use the Hens 454 in size 10. I normally tie these in 14 mostly, 12 sometimes, and sometimes 16. I'm using a 10 today, a bigger hook, just to show you. I think that you will actually be able to see better with a bigger hook and a bigger fly. I like it. It's cheap, it's strong, and it's good. We also need one hackle feather like this, rooster hackle. We're not going to use much of it, just a few fibers. We want stiffer fibers for the tail. Gonna come back to that. And we also need some CdC. Okay. Let's go then. Step one, the first thing that we need to do is get a hook out of the pack, and we need to secure the hook in the vise. Check it, make sure it sticks. Okay, make sure it's kind of level. You don't want it sloping down like that, that's bad. First step, with the actual thread, then just hold it across, wind it away from you and across itself like this. You can do many turns, at least on this fly, and cut away the waist. Oops, don't do that. And continue winding the thread towards the back of the hook. The back is always towards the hook bend, until you get to the hook bend, and then you stop. Next step, we need a bunch of these fibers. I'm going to use, I don't know, like 8 perhaps, something like that. 6, 8, 10, whatever. For these tails, you don't have to use the best hackles you own, but again, if you have quality, use quality. This is not so much quality, this is cheap stuff, but it works. All right, we want to attach the tail to the back of the hook, somewhere around here. We want it to be about the length of the whole hook, including the hook bend and everything. So something like that perhaps. So pinch it between your left, if you're right-handed like me, between your left forefinger and your left thumb, and hold it on top of the hook. Okay, then we lift the thread up and we pinch it. You can't see this very well, but I'll pinch it, hold it with my thumb against the hook so that I can do this. You normally don't do this. You don't want your don't want the thread to slack. You want it to be, you want to keep tension on it all the time. But for this one, I'm lifting it straight up, holding it so I can just play around like this, and then I'm going to pull it straight down on the other side. Wink. And I'll do the same thing again. Hold it straight down, because that will secure the fibers on the top of the hook where we want them, like that. Then we can just do a couple more lines. You can do many if you want to. And then I'm going to cut away the crap again. like that. Okay, then we need to check, go down again towards the hook bend and make sure that we have thread all the way down here. And then I'm going to go once under the tail, like this, like, to make it, oops, to make it pop up a bit, like that. And then a couple more winds. Tail done. Next step, we need a body. I'm going to use one CdC feather for the body. I want a long and bushy one. I want long fibers. So when I do this, most of the fibers kind of get stuck when I hold it like this. Not all of them will get stuck. I've never seen a feather like that, but this works. Right? Again, hold it between your left thumb and left forefinger, stroke the fibers and pinch it. We want to attach it to the hook with the tip of the feather pointing towards the hook eye, and we want to do it again on top of the hook. So I'm going to pull it down here, lift, pinch, down, lift, pinch, down. Just do that like twice, maybe 3 times. Because now we want to keep tension on the thread and pull the feather back like this until there's just an itty bitty part of the feather sticking out. And then secure it again all the way back to where you attach the tail, not too far back, but here somewhere. All right, very good. Now comes the only kind of difficult part with this fly. We're going to twist this feather. That is something that you might need to wet your fingers to do. Twist it until you get like a sausage thing going. All right, twist feather, hold that, wind thread forward until you have 2, maybe 3 millimeters left to the hook eye, somewhere here. And then you wind the feather sausage around the hook. Tight winds, like this. And sometimes you may need to twist it as you wind because it will kind of unwrap itself. So, and go forward. I mostly count 7 turns. Didn't count them today. Until we are here. Now we want to secure the feather. We do that like we would secure everything else by going across, down on the other side, at least twice. This feather we want to spring back. So we do it a couple of times across, and then I switch hands, and then I do it many times in front of the feather. When I let go, looks good. Okay. Again, cut away the excess here, like that. I also trim my mayflies. I know some people don't, but I do. I have never actually compared results with the people who do or with myself by not doing it. So I don't know if there's any difference. I don't think there would be much difference, but I like the way they look when I trim them. So that's what I do. All right. You don't have to be super careful though. It's not a celebrity fly. Kind of like that. Okay, very good. 2 out of 3 then. Just one more thing to do. Build and attach the wing. For that we need more CdC feathers. I'm going to use 4 smaller ones actually. You don't need the super big ones, but kind of bushy ones. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to stack them, like start with one, start with one, put the other on top, and then the third, and then the last one. So we get a nice stack of feathers like this. So they don't have to be super even. We're going to cut them anyway, so I'm going to tell you why. But stroke the fibers back like this, and then we want to attach them again on top of the hook. So I'm going to pinch left thumb, left forefinger, hold them on top like this. Make sure you don't go too close to the hook eye, because that would cause problems later. Also, you could measure this a bit, like how big a wing do you want, but you don't have to be super careful, because again, we're going to cut it. But something like this, hold it on top, do the wraps I taught you earlier, sorry. Straight up, hold it, straight down. Straight up, hold it, straight down. You can do 3 here actually, because we have more material, which will make it, well, you need more power to keep it in place, simply. So when we have it here, we can do a bunch of wraps, secure it like that, and then we cut away again the leftovers. Oops, try to get as much as you can. I'm going to save the leftovers, and use them. We'll get back to that. So when we're here, we want to make sure that we have a clean hook eye. So I'm putting a few more wraps around that, like so. Next step, split the wing. You have 4 feathers, you grab 2 of them, and then you do a diagonal turn into the gap between the feathers, like 2 feathers on one side and 2 on the other. All right, and you do that a few times. To get your nice wing split. Okay, it should perhaps look something like this. Oops. Like I said, go diagonal turn, diagonal turn. Right, well, it looks okay like this. Then we go back and we find some of the waste. We don't want the stems, the hackle stems. We want just you only want the fuzz, okay, the fibers. We don't want super much, but like a nice little pinch of, oops, nice little pinch of fuzz. Where did that go? Oh, pull out the thread. You need a thread like this, and then hold the fuzz between your thumb and your forefinger and put it on the thread. Then twist and push, twist and pinch, sorry. Only twist in one direction until you get a nice little piece of dubbing sausage. Saying sausage. Pull that all the way up, and then we do the diagonal turns again. This will create a little bit of a torso and a little bit of extra floating power. And then do a couple of wraps in front of the wing. Now it looks something like this. I hope you can see the torso. You also get a little head on the fly. That's part of the deal. Okay, so almost done. What we need to do now is that we need to secure the thread. We need to tie it. We could do just half hitches, like cross the thread, put it, whoops, put it across here, close to the eye, and just pull it tight. If you want to use half hitches, you need to use a few of them, otherwise it won't stick. Something bad happened. I need another wrap. I should do more of these. Okay, finally. All right. Second option is the whip finishing tool. Again, check the tutorial somewhere else. I'm just going to tie the fly now. Secure the thread. That. Like that. Sometimes you need to just adjust the wing for a bit, make sure it's pointing straight up, or at least at an angle, at the same angle, both wings. Then cut away the thread, and the fly is almost done. Now we just need to cut the wings. I think that this is like sort of the height that I want. I tend to use the tail as measurement, like the length of the tail, and then go down just a little bit. All right, so this is okay, but I'm still going to cut away the very end of the tips, because if you do that, the fly will dry easier. The fuzzy ends, they trap water. Okay, so if you cut them away, and then you just have to do a couple of air casts, and then the fly will be dry again. This also gives you a chance to give it like the mayfly form. You can if you want to. I normally do that because I'm fussy and overly fussy sometimes. Doesn't matter. It will work fine without the exact wing form. All right. But cutting away. When you do this, cut both wings at the same time. So much easier. Just pull them together and hold them together and cut. Also do a small cut around the whole, like all of the feather tip should be cut away. Something like that, right? So now we have a mayfly, like this, split wing, CdC body, rooster hackle tail. This will float well. This will imitate more or less any mayfly. I do them in brown and gray, and sometimes in rusty brown, sometimes in yellow, and it's really small ones in black. But this is super generic. Okay, it will work almost everywhere, almost anytime. And I also think that sometimes if you pull the wings down, the fish might actually take it for a caddisfly as well. So good, one of those good to have patterns. Have a bunch of them. Use them a lot. All right. Again, my name is Daniel, and I thank you for watching this mayfly tutorial thing. I hope you have a nice evening or afternoon or whatever it is where you are, and perhaps we'll see each other again.